It's become common knowledge that Arsenal will sign a top centre forward. While we've talked about the likes of Darwin, Nunez, João Felix and others, what about Napoli's Victor Osimhen? Well, let's find out today. What reports in Italy have claimed. Are Arsenal targeting a move for a new right back in Max Aarons? What award has Bukayo Saka won? And how will Mikel Arteta line up versus Southampton on the weekend? Yo, what is going on guys? My name is Babs14. It's must win FC for Arsenal, so my friends, smash a like if you enjoy the content, subscribe if you're new. With us being less than 100 subscribers, away from the 80k mark, I'm trusting in you guys to get your boy over the line. But let's get into the Arsenal news and starting off with Victor Osimhen. The Nigerian international that plays in Naples in Italy has been on fire once again this season and has caught the attention of some of the top clubs around the Premier League. And according to Gazzetta dello Sport in Italy, Arsenal have set their sights on Napoli striker Victor Osimhen and are currently in the lead when it comes to the important Premier League clubs chasing his signature, with the reports also claiming that Napoli are likely to demand a fee of at least £82 million for their 23-year-old striker. £82 million reportedly gets you Victor Osimhen, but I think I understand that price tag. 23 years of age, soon to enter the peak of his powers, having scored 12 non-penalty goals this season and won 4 penalties. Victor Osimhen is on the brink of becoming a superstar player. When it comes to the non-penalty expected goals, Victor Osimhen is already at the level of the best strikers in Europe according to the stats. We have to remind ourselves of how much Napoli paid to sign Osimhen back in the first place. This is their club record signing. They spent over £70 million to bring him to Naples in the first place. They have got one of the hardest negotiators in world football in Aurelio De Laurentiis. As history suggests, if you don't pay the money that De Laurentiis wants, you're not going to sign their player. The prime example of course of this is Kalidou Koulibaly, a player that Man City wanted, Man United wanted, but as no one paid his price tag they set, he remains a player of Napoli to this day. A potential superstar striker in the making in what is already a very dry transfer market in the striker department. In that aspect, it does make sense of why Napoli have slapped that £82 million price tag. But in terms of Arsenal Football Club, should they be paying that? Can Arsenal afford Victor Osimhen? I think so. And as Arsenal showed in that last transfer window, that when they want to spend money, they are more than capable. The fact that Fabrizio Romano confirms that Arsenal want to sign a top centre forward, Victor Osimhen fits the bill and Arsenal can pay the price tag. If Arsenal aren't in the Champions League or the other clubs that also want to sign Osimhen, I just don't see how Arsenal sign him. But on top of that, with that sort of price tag of £82 million, when you got the likes of Darwin, Nunez going for around £70 million, would it be worth for Arsenal to pay £82 million for Napoli's Victor Osimhen? Is he a striker that you guys want to see Arsenal sign, and for the price tag of £82 million, should we make it happen? But talking about strikers, Darwin Nunez has now scored 30 goals in 34 appearances across league and European competitions this season. As I keep on saying, if Arsenal want to sign an out-and-out goal scorer, a superb elite outlet in the making, then Darwin Nunez is 110% the guy. The likes of Jonathan David, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Alexandre Isak, and even the likes of Victor Osimhen, these are all strikers that have not scored 20 league goals in one season for the current teams. When you then have Darwin Nunez scoring 30 in 34 appearances, and more importantly scoring goals in the Champions League, the whole argument that he only scores goals in the Portuguese league becomes pretty irrelevant. But on top of that, having watched both games of him play against Liverpool, the team fighting for a title and the Champions League, the way he moved to that defence of Van Dijk and Konate had me really impressed. And once again, it showed Arsenal fans that if we were to sign a player like Darwin Nunez, he would give Arsenal, for me, the best possible outlet on the current market, making smart runs out wide and in behind, showing great elite physical traits against two top centre backs in Konate and Van Dijk. He was playing as almost a one-man attack at times, and the fact that he caused an elite Liverpool defence so many issues. For an Arsenal team that is in need of top outlets, imagine Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli, Emil Smith-Rowe and Martin Odegaard firing balls into Darwin Nunez. But just like with Victor Osimhen, if Arsenal want to sign Darwin Nunez, we first things first have to secure Champions League footy. But if it came down to a £70 million transfer for Darwin Nunez or an £82 million transfer for Victor Osimhen, out of those two strikers, which would you prefer to see Arsenal sign? And on to the final bit of transfer news. According to The Sun, Max Aarons is a target of Manchester Manchester United and Arsenal, while Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund are also monitoring the right back, valued in the region of £20 million. The transfer links of Max Aarons to Arsenal have been persistent for a very long time over the past few seasons. Having come once again into the Premier League and his team once again about to get relegated, he is now 22 years of age, and if Arsenal want to sign a right back, this is definitely going to be an opportunity. As great as a player Takahiro Tomiyasu is, the real question over him is his overall fitness and can he overcome his calf injuries. But more importantly, if Arsenal want to be a team in European competitions and competing at all fronts, we need to have the elite squad depth and the squad rotations. But for the price tag of £20 million, do you guys want to see Arsenal sign Max Aarons as the brand new right back? Moving on to the game against Southampton. That is right, the Gunners are back in action this weekend as they travel all the way to St Mary's to play against Ralph Hasenhutl's Southampton. And as per your boy always says, this is going to be a gargantuan must-win game. Southampton's form going into this game is 4 losses out of the last 5 games, with the last game being a 6-0 defeat against Chelsea at home. In comparison, Arsenal have lost 3 out of their last 5, losing back-to-back games against Crystal Palace and Brighton last weekend. Both teams are bang out of form, but in terms of Southampton, 5 games without a win, having just lost 6-0. Some fans might look at that and go, yes, Arsenal might have an easy win here. But as the games against Brighton showed in the past, in the Premier League, form goes out of the window and each game has to be taken very, very seriously. The fact that we have Chelsea away after, Man United at home and West Ham away. Not to go over the top, but this has to be a bank of 3 points for Arsenal Football Club. The Saints will be boosted by the return of Armando Broja, who had to miss out against his parent club against Chelsea last time out. Whereas for Arsenal, Alexandre Lacazette was not seen in training, with the likes of Kieran Tierney, Takahiro Tomiyasu and Thomas Partey all out of this game as well. But if Lacazette is to miss the game, how exactly is Mikel Arteta going to respond? Well, here is how I think Arsenal are going to line up. Ramsdale and goal, a back four of Cedric Ben White, Gabriel Nunez Tavares, a midfield three of Sambi Lokonga, Martin Odegaard and Granit Xhaka, and a front three of Gabriel Martinelli, Eddie Nketiah and Bukayo Saka. First things first, in terms of left back. At this current stage of time, even though Tavares is a bit of a risk, we have to trust our most natural left back. But as that last game showed, when Arteta tinkers the team and plays other players out of position, it can ruin the Arsenal team dynamics. I also think it's vitally important that Arteta plays Granit Xhaka in that midfield position. To give Arsenal the most control in the midfield has to be our way forwards going into the rest of the season. But the most important thing, of course, is the front three. If Alexandre Lacazette has missed training, I don't think he's going to play. I think Arsenal might just give a start to Eddie Nketiah. There's a few reasons behind that. First things first, the fact that Arteta threw on Nketiah in the last game in the 56th minute. To throw him on so early in that game, it almost gives me an indication that he might start in this game as well. If it came down to me, I would play Gabriel Martinelli down the middle instead, flanked by Emile Smith-Rowe and Bukayo Saka, but I just have this inclined feeling that Mikel Arteta will give a chance to Eddie Nketiah instead. But if it were down to you, how would you line up the Arsenal team? Tactically, this has to be a game that Mikel Arteta keeps it very simple. He cannot overthink it once again, playing Xhaka out of position or Bukayo Saka at left back. This is a must-win game that Arsenal can't experiment in. And here's a positive stat for Arsenal, that they have won 3 of their last 5 Premier League visits to St Mary's, won 3, drawn 1 and lost 1 out of their last 5. So Arsenal have some decent form at St Mary's. But having just lost their last game there 6-0, I am 100% sure that we're going to see a response from the Southampton team. But what are your thoughts going into this must-win game against Southampton? Do you think Arsenal are going to get the win? How do you want to see Arsenal tactically line up? And finally, and most importantly, what are your Southampton versus Arsenal matchday predictions? Moving on to the other Arsenal news today. And starting off with the Arsenal star boy in Mr. Number 7 Bukayo Saka. As a massive congrats to Saka, who has been named the PFA March Premier League Fans Player of the Month. Bukayo Saka was on fire in the month of March, and likewise were Arsenal. But ever since the start of April, things just haven't been the same, so fingers crossed Bukayo can now help Arsenal turn the form around and get us back on track ASAP. Gabriel Magalhaes, speaking on his links to Barcelona, says, "I feel at home at Arsenal. It's a great squad to be a part of, and together I am sure we can achieve a lot. I'm very happy here." Fabrizio says he's only focused on Arsenal and no talks with Barca as of today. His priority is the UCL race now. This is all after the reports came out yesterday from Chris Wheatley that Barcelona have genuine interest in signing Mr. Gabriel Magalhaes, and this is exactly what you want to hear from an Arsenal player. To come out straight away, deny these reports and categorically say that he's happy at Arsenal Football Club, which basically confirms that Gabriel is going to stay at Arsenal. But more importantly to you guys, do you guys think that Gabriel Magalhaes long term is the quality of centre back that Arsenal are going to require to fight for a Premier League title, whether that's alongside Benjamin White or maybe even William Saliba? Here are some further leaked images of the brand new Arsenal away kit for next season. And as you guys can see, Arsenal are going to go for that black and gold type of kit. That for me is a kit that deserves to be in the Champions League, not in the Europa League. The black and gold there, the pink Arsenal third kit, the brand new home kits, Adidas are once again delivering on their behalf. It's time that Arsenal do the same as well and get us into the promised land of the Champions League. But talking about the Champions League, this weekend is set to be gargantuan in the race for the top 4. First things first, you have Spurs playing against Brighton at their ground, playing in the early 12:30 kickoff. You also have Man United welcoming Norwich to Old Trafford, and at the same time you will also have Arsenal taking on Southampton at St Mary's. And as things stands, here's how the Premier League table looks, with Tottenham right now sitting 4th, 3 points ahead of Arsenal, having played 1 game more, with both West Ham and Man United 3 points behind Arsenal in 6th and 7th. The fact that Spurs are going to play before Arsenal this weekend, with the current form that Spurs are playing in, Brighton at home is a game that I fully expect them to win. But for Arsenal, these next 3 games are going to be massively decisive. First things first, Southampton on the weekend, that's the priority. But past that, in the midweek, we've got Chelsea away, followed by Man United coming to the Emirates next Saturday. But right now the focus isn't on Chelsea, it's not Man United next week, it is firmly on St Mary's, Southampton on the weekend. It's a must-win banker for Arsenal that Mikel Arteta and Arsenal simply cannot slip. But that is the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and if you have, make sure to go around there and smash a like on the video, and also do subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you would like to follow your boy on them social medias, then the links will be down below in the description. And that was all of the latest Arsenal news today. Massive game on Saturday. St Mary's, even though they've not won games recently there, they've lost 6-0 there, it's still not going to be easy because we're Arsenal Football Club. Anyways, let's hope for the best, and I'll see you next time. Take care, and in a bit.